Hello, just a quick video to show you what I'm up to today. I'm just redressing a biofalls of a Aquascape ecosystem pond, and I will be replanting some marginals because they've had a bit of an algae bloom. There wasn't that many plants near to start with. There's a big lily basket in the bottom and a couple of corkscrew rushes. That was it really, and they've been nowhere near enough doing a big enough job in containing the nitrates coming into this, especially with all the rain we've had recently over here in England. It's just topping up with fresh water all the time and had a massive algae bloom. So I've cleared all the algae out. I haven't bothered showing you that, that's a bit boring. So I'm going to show you the redressing that I've done of the biofalls. Here's a little video of what it looked like before, and then I'll show you how it looks after, and then a little bit about the marginal plants that I'm putting in here today. Okay, so that is the biofalls redressed. In the before video a second ago I had just added these two wing rocks here. Obviously I've added the lovely piece of natural wood, which all this wood I found in the back of the garden here and repurposed it. And so I've got another piece across the back. I've added a great big boulder, which you can see the top of, that actually sits down there on the back of the berm going down. And there's actually another rock here which you can only see. That's quite a tall one, but again, because it's on the back of the berm, you're only seeing the tip. It's almost, and obviously I put that great big grass at the back just to frame it. Tied some of this fence of the neighbours that's falling to bits. I can't help that, I'm not here for that. So it's just trying to make it a bit more pleasing on the eye. And I say, I could have just not bothered with those boulders there, but it just adds that element of depth. Obviously when that grass blows in the wind, it's going to reveal bits of those rock and make it a bit more natural. So this is the view as you approach the pond. I've got the spider here. I pulled all the netting back because I'm just about to do some aquatic planting around this Aquascape ecosystem pond to obviously drink the nutrients out the water, help with the algae bloom they've recently had. So that's my next job. I just wanted to show you the dressing of this biofalls, how to disguise it. As you can see, it looks like the water's sort of coming out of nowhere really, which is what you want. You don't really want to see the source of your water, and building up behind on the berm behind the waterfall. When you're approaching it, takes your eye to that top point and you actually forget that, you know, a little bit lower down there's water coming out. If that was your highest point, your eye goes straight to it and it's less effective. So also I did that grass there today. Again, they were around the front of the property. I've just repurposed them. So yeah, let's get on with the aquatic planting. Fish look happy enough. Okay, this is the pond pre-planting. As you can see, it's really only got one plant there, another one just down there, and there's one just on the edge here, some sort of spiral reeds there. So in this bucket here and some lovely water, I've got a nice selection. I've got some giant marsh marigold, some corkscrew rush, some hard rush, purple loosestrife, which is a good pollinator as well. They grow nice and tall, so they're going to be going on this back side of the pond here, which is the side you'll be standing here looking at it. So tall plants on the back side always. I've got some white pickerel, which are really good for drinking the nutrients. I've got a hosta and I've got some willow grass. So I'm going to get them all around this pond and I'll show you where I put them in a minute. Well, I was going to show you what I planted, but as I've disturbed all the gravel and the cobbles where I've been planting into, it's obviously got a bit murky, so that's going to take a day probably to circulate through the filters and clear itself up. But what I can tell you is that I planted two hard rush, one there and one there, and they're kind of a bit of a gateway. The fish like to come through here, and there's a deeper section where they like to swim against the current from the waterfall. So I've got two there, I've got 5 of those in total. I've got one on this edge here, another one here, another one towards the skimmer box. Working around this way, I've got a spiral rush there, and I've got another spiral rush, which I should have showed you while I was this end. Which I've planted, made a little bed for it there in the middle. So it's really hard to see with this reflection this time of day and this spider frame over the top. I've put my 2 marsh marigolds in this corner here because they like a bit of sun and shallow. So 1, 2 there. I've got my purple loosestrife. I've got 1. Where are we? 2, 3. They're all on this side because they're the tall ones. I've got my pickerel rush. I've got 2 of those up near this end. Got one nestled in there and the other one down there. I've put my hoster there, just getting tickled by the water there, so that likes light damp ground, so that should be okay there. And my willow grass, that's gone a little bit deeper. I've got one of them there, the other one you can't see at the minute, it's down on the next shelf down. That can go as deep as sort of 60 to 90 centimetres, and that'll flower up nice to the top, and that'll be pollinator friendly as well, as will the purple loosestrife. As you may have noticed, I've been tinkering one last bit and this lovely stump tree there, so I've put that the other side, so that kind of frames it with the other stump there. Got the grass in the middle. Like I say, I cannot do anything about that horrible bit of broken fencing from next door. All I can say is look down at the water. So that's all the planting done. I've just topped up a little bit of the mulch in here. I'm going to get the netting back on. And one final thing I'm going to do, what I do with my pond at home, add about 3 or 4 drops of this, maintain the ponds. I do that sort of once a week on a Saturday morning. It's a healthy bacteria, so it's not chemicals, it's a natural bacteria. It's a bacteria that's good for the pond, and it's going to keep it nice and clean, along with all the substrate in here. All these plants now be drinking the nitrogen out the water. Hopefully, not hopefully, we'll be taking the nitrogen away from all the algae bloom. When this clears, you may find that there is still a little bit of algae clinging on that I've not been able to see and remove. And my algae brush may just need another dose of pond clear, which I applied a couple of doses the other day just to loosen it before I came in and started netting it out. So there we go. Ignore the fence. That's a lovely waterfall.